Come, let us explore the secret vegan hack that deepens meditation. And together let us relaxingly recite. In late-stage capitalism, there are many who have a vested interest in keeping us locked in the frenzy of various iterations of the kill or be killed mindset. Come, let us wax subversive. For although the United Nations explained it would take $6 billion to end world hunger, compassion is not an exclusive club with an entry fee or a 2-drink minimum. In fact, some of the most compassionate things we could do merely involve our consumer choices. 50% of the Buddha's Eightfold Path is comprised of the mental kindness of intention, the interpersonal kindness of communication, the physical kindness of conduct, and the circumstantial kindness of commerce. However, there is nothing kind about using our consumer choices to coerce an underpaid worker, to exploit no less slaughter living beings because we want a snack. On average, worldwide, every day, a vast ocean of sentient beings is murdered. More than 900,000 cows, 1,400,000 goats, 1,700,000 sheep, 3,800,000 pigs, 12 million ducks, 202 million chickens, and hundreds of millions of fish. Each of them yearning to live and not die, just like us. Through the convenience of a cruelty-free diet, we get to exercise greater compassion to the environment, to non-human animals, and if we consume a whole food vegan diet, to this very body which supports our meditation. Even though we could watch the video Dominion and 101 other videos that could pull at our heartstrings, remember, we are already wired to love. Every time we put a rabbit and an apple in a playpen, the human child always pets the rabbit and eats the apple. We are natural-born herbivores. It is only our amygdala that makes us aggressive. And the more we authentically practice mindfulness and meditation, even as little as once every 12 hours or so, the more we'll calm the anxiety and aggression of our survival-oriented amygdala and stimulate the empathy of our anterior cingulate gyrus. This is why the Buddha taught mindfulness and meditation. Having completed our opening lesson, it's time for us to shift gears. It is Ahsoka Tano Thursday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is the Dzogchen Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I have harnessed my autistic special interests as well as my ADHD hyperfocus to spend about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that I can become your nerdy, neurodivergent guide to nirvana. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers, just like you. For the remainder of this morning's live stream, let us play with the latest iteration of a very easy meditation practice text, or sadhana, if you're nasty. Sturgeon's Law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks, and that suckiness could look like Yang's religious or irreligious patriarchy. The type of patriarchy that trains us to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. And so it should come as little surprise when 90% of the meditation teachers we encounter implore us to actively focus and actively analyze. The only neural pathways that facilitate that are the medial as well as dorsolateral prefrontal cortices. Overuse of these not only exhaust the front part of our brain, but trigger our amygdala, the seat of anxiety and aggression, which are probably the opposite of what we want for meditation. They are the opposite of the peace and love that we desire. Fortunately, neither the medial prefrontal cortex nor its dorsolateral counterpart are the only components of our central nervous system. Au contraire, every time we inhale, we are already wired to automatically access the sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us to notice in a very special way, to help us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. Similarly, every time we exhale, we are already wired to access our parasympathetic nervous system, divided between the lower third and the upper third of that same spinal cord. This parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support the physical relaxation and mental release that cause that which we noticed during our previous inhalation to fleetingly feel less stressful, less permanent, and less defining. The method with which we cooperate with our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems is simple. All we got to do is silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, as well as silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or philosophy, do not hesitate to type your question in great detail in the chat window. I check for questions approximately once every 9 minutes or so.